There's another grave here in that I'm visiting in Moortown. Just Granny's just and Granny's just down the road there. It's Liam Ryan. Late 90s or late 80s. Liam was I was very close to, and he was shot dead as well. Again, you know, it was to do with troubles. Back then, I was completely, you know, blinded to all this. I didn't know this all what was going on. You know, it's looking back now, I kind of realise all the hype and what was going on through the houses and bits and pieces I got there. You know, all the panic and why I was going down south and why I was doing this and why I was doing that. You know, and now these guys aren't. They're not about anymore. But you know, my Uncle Pete, I didn't really get to meet. But this man here now, I met this man. He's very like a father to me. I was very young, you know. I seen this man every single day. He always would call around the house. He owned a bar where I'm going to now, and where I grew up. And he would have been in with me every day, you know. When I was younger, you know, I did a bit of boxing, you know, in the ring, and I was pretty good at it. I think it was, anyway. And this was the man who kept pushing me. He always pushed. He put a competitive side into me. I found my first competitive side, you know, with this man here. You know, I have another uncle who's still living, is Conrad Quinn, who to this day he's in his mid-40s heading, and you know, he's as fit as he was when he was 18, 19, and he put a competitive streak in me as well. You know, but I'll never forget this man here. You know, I mind, you know, the morning I woke up and my mum and dad said that Liam was dead. You know, I was only 8 or 9, you know, and it was an awful shock, you know, and it hurt, you know, it really hurt. I didn't know what happened, just it wasn't there anymore. He said to me, you know, he was getting me a punch bag and a set of gloves for my birthday. My birthday was November. So my birthday was the 7th of December, and you know, I waited, you know, for a long time to get those gloves and that bag, and for him to come back. Or he never came back, you know. But one Christmas I did get it, you know. My mum and dad got it for me. So you know, I say I'm not going to harp on or go on about the troubles and stuff like that, because you know, I'm definitely a community man. You know, I just like, you know, cross community, work with anyone, you know. But it's just I don't want to butter stuff over, and people, you know, are going to come out with stories, oh, he was in families involved in this or that or there. I'm my own person, you know. I do my own thing, and I'm just, you know, a peaceful guy now. I just like to see everybody getting on, everybody agreeing. You know, as I say, we're all going to end up in a place like this here, and you know, as I say, fighting over money or fighting over this, fighting over that. To me, there's no tow bar in a hearse. You know, you can't take it with you. You know, it's just enjoy life. Enjoy life. You know, I started to get a wee bit frustrated. I'm back. The shades are on, you know, and the future's bright. So I'm going to move now down to where I was born, and we'll keep rolling. All right. Just arrived here to where I was born. This is the battery. This house here, this was just a plot of land that my mum and father was on. Way back in the early 80s. I lived here for 4 or 5 years, and you can see there on the walls the flies. I think was the biggest problem for us not remaining here, because the flies, you put clothes out in the liner ring, you get flies over them, and they were dying on it and stuff like that there. So it was kind of a big put off of my mum's to stay here, but I really liked it here. You know, I have a lot of fond memories, even though I was so young. I still remember being here, but I'm going to drive down in here now, and we'll just camera folly just to.
Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for a break that would make it okay.
Alright, LSTV. We're now into Series 6. I'm heading away for a few days. I'm just heading down here to train with Neil Anderson down at Gymco. So I'll just show you what it's like for me to travel at the minute. So, it's the boot, full of stuff, supplement bag, and my prep bag in the back, and then my training gear, whatever else I need to take with me. So that's ready. Mira hit the road at 7:15. Catches and Jim Cole.
You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, cause I've had enough. I see it all, I see it now. I got the eye of the tiger, fighter, dancing through the fire. Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. Louder, louder than a lion. Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. You'll hear me roar. You're gonna hear me.
Alright, LSTV, just after a gym set here with this man here. I don't know if it's Neil Anderson or it's a Hollywood actor, but he's looking the part here anyway. But Neil's a pro muscle model for the Wbff. And as you see, worthy winner at the last show in LA. So I'm going to hand you over here to Neil, let him say a few words and a wee bit of inspiration in the way he does what he does. But I definitely found I definitely would look up to him now, and he's now become a really good friend. And he's introduced me to the guys here at Gym Co. He's with me, you know, and it's an excellent gym and facilities and everything based around here, the definition. It's just a really, really, really good place. And Jim and the brothers and all the family that run it, you know, I couldn't ask to meet any nicer down to earth people. So hand you over this guy here and I'll say a few words.
We put out a training session there. It's just trying to keep this man motivated. I just back from LA, like Ryan said, I got a second place in the Hollywood Pro-Am, which I have to say is really proud of. It was one of the sort of more difficult sort of environments, I think, just sort of being away from home. I'd done the Worlds a couple of times, so very familiar with the Vegas setup. So it was a whole new setup, and typically you land in, and the one thing for you, Ryan, is you land in, you don't really ultimately know what's going to be in around you, because the competition is always unbelievable in the WBFF. So I kind of landed in. I was very confident, but at the same time backstage it was 10 guys that you just wonder how on earth you're going to sort of surpass these guys. So yeah, it was an amazing experience, and obviously Beverly Hills, great venue for it, and had just an amazing trip. People around you and so on.
Brilliant having me up today. As I say, folks, these videos are raw. Now, well, two boys here in the background love a laugh. One of them here, and Jim himself. So, folks, as I say, it's LSTV, it's raw. They could be sniggering, they could be laughing, they could be farting, they could be burping, they could be anything. But I want to thank Neil here for coming on LSTV, speaking to us. I know Neil himself's going to release his own YouTube channel and get some stuff up there, you know, training ways, eating ways, stuff like that there. So, you know, you're going to see a lot more of Jim Co and Neil Anderson, you know. So, thanks very much, folks, for tuning in, and I'll catch you later on. Alright, LSTV, let's say we're now in, I keep calling it series, but it's episode. It should be episode 6. I'm in Dublin today. It's Saturday. I headed down here yesterday evening. Body Power is on at the minute. It's somewhere I haven't been yet and I would like to go to. But I had the choice. Go to Body Power or power my own body. So I'm down in Dublin here now. I'm having maids and all with me. And I'm going here now to train in a place called Flyfit. So I'm heading that way now. I'm doing a bit of recording of the training, and to say this year, episode 6 is going to be on a wee bit more, you know, something or a few things that's happened in my life in the past, and it's brought me to around the day, and you know, so I'm just gonna still add a wee bit of training and stuff, and keep the motivation going as well. All right, so I'll see you over in Flyfit.
Already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I gotta get ready.
Alright, LSTV, I'm just outside Flyfit here in Swords, so I'm going to head in here, get a session on, and then we'll have some food afterwards.
Dancing through the fire, 'cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion, 'cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. You'll hear me roar. You're gonna hear me roar. Roar, 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 roar. I got the eye of the tiger, fighter.
Oh yeah, that's TV. It's resty. Well, coming so close to the show and photo shoot. There ain't any more rest days. Just had a fly fit there. Done about 40 minutes cardio. Then hit legs. Just loads of reps just to really get the conditioning now. Then hit a bit of arms. Biceps, triceps, just to really fill out the arms because my shoulders are quite big. So I want to really bring the arms out as well. It's getting really, really cranky. Kind of hard to live with, so it's kind of next, you know, I know I'm 6 weeks out, but I want to be ready for 2 weeks out, you know, or at least a week and a half. So if you kind of schedule, I'm kind of 4 weeks out, you know. So every morning I wake up now, I'm seeing changes in my body. Getting leaner, getting tighter, weight's coming down. I'd tell I was dropping calories this week to really, really, really pull it in. So like I'm on about 2,400 calories, so it's not a lot eating, like, but I'd say there'll be changes this week. We'll be adding refeeds. So no, that's it. So Sunday, as I say, I've had another, that's 7 days in a row training. So I just have to empty a tank from here on in. So I'm going to go now and enjoy the rest of the day and eat and chill out and get back out of the bar. So pretty quiet stroke busy weekend in Dublin, but wasn't busy in the gym. So I'll catch you all later. LSTV, what's happening? We're now to the next episode, and I've got a right bit of footage done, but I've kind of held it off a few days here because I'm doing a wee thing here today. I've just been asked to do it, and I didn't turn it down because, as I've said on here, I've been in prison, and I'm going to talk about it now a bit more and how that all come around, different things like that. But before I go into that, I'm just heading here now to the prison, and I'm going to speak to prisoners within the gym. I want to try and give them my story, you know, of how I ended up in prison and how I coped in prison. You know, things I did in there, things I did when I come out, and basically how I've got to where I am today. It's not going to be easy, this. It's the only thing is, I go in this time and I come back out, you know, when I want to. When the last time I went in, it wasn't my choice, when I could come back out to my family and friends and so on and so forth. So I'm going to head in here now. I can't take a camera, I can't take anything in with me, but I am going to go in here and then I will speak to you when I come back out. Alright, thank you. Alright, LSTV, it is 5 to 12 at night. You can hear the tractors and trailers in the background there. Farmers out cutting silage. And there's Romeo barking in the background. Right, I'm going to talk about something here now. I've spoken to my family and close friends, you know, do I do this, do I don't, you know, and 9.9 people out of 10 have, if that's such a thing, have said, you know, go ahead and do it, you know. I'm going to go right back to the start. I'm not going to butter this up. I'm not going to make excuses. I'm not going to deny anything. I'm not going to make say any excuse for what I've done. It's completely wrong. But the media at the time and the courts, you Googled it, things like that, I can see why the family are very cross. Whenever you read these things, it would definitely, it would be very hard to forgive. But I'm here now to tell the truth. I'm not going to tell any lies, and I'm not going to cover over what I've done. So basically, early 2003, I get into a bit of a drunken argument. It was a silly argument, walking from a bar in Ardbow here, and I don't want to speak or disrespect the dead, but I got attacked that night and I got severely beat up. I was in crutches at the time. I had a crush injury from 2002 where I near lost my foot. Got it reconstructed and I was off my feet, and I got a severe beating, so that was to be honest with you, I'm not saying I seek revenge, but I held a grudge. And any young lad watching this now, grudges should not be held. You gotta let them things go. What I want to speak about at the end of this here is, a massive healer is forgiven. When you forgive someone, it's a massive healer. It takes a lot of weight off your shoulders, and I didn't do that. I held a grudge. I held it for 9 months. We did cross each other's paths in bars around home here, my hometown. His brother, I still spoke to. His sisters, I still spoke to. I had been in the house, in their home house, and one night, and we I was more friendly with the brother than the fella that unfortunately lost his life. I don't want to mention any names on here, and that's I'll not be. So basically, I held a grudge, and I went out. It was a Friday night before Tyrone won the All-Ireland in 2003. I went out. It was just a last minute thing. I was in bed and one of my mates rang me, see, going for a couple of pints, and I jumped out of bed and had all my stuff ready for the All-Ireland final that weekend, tickets and me suit for the after party or the gala and stuff like that. Everything was sitting, but I jumped out of bed and I went over to the bar, and it was only that as far as we were going, and then we decided. My brother, he drove at that time. He always would have liked to drive, so myself and a mate and him and there's a couple of girls at the time, or was a girl at the time, one of the boys were seeing, and we went into Cookstown. No, never thought any of this was ever going to happen. I jumped out of the car at the traffic lights just at Motor Street there, and my mate and the brother went to get cigarettes, and as I stepped out, I met an old school friend. I started chatting to him. And as this, the fella that passed away came in and said to the said something to the fella. I'm not going to get into it because there's no excuse for what I done. It doesn't matter, fuck what was said. I should have just got over it. You know what I mean? Built a fucking bridge and got over it. Forgiven. But at that time, there was a few mates about of his, and to be honest with you, I done the Curdy thing. I walked away, and waited for me mates to come back down again. So I didn't go down the street looking at anybody. At that stage, this was half an hour more later, and I walked out and said I had a drink in me. Like, I wasn't drunk, but I had drink in me. And I walked down the street, there was witnesses that night said that I hit him with a car and I done this and I done that. There was a lot of stories given that night were absolutely wrong. So there was a lot of drink on. We were all very young. You know, people give statements that weren't true and, you know, things they got there. But basically, he was coming walking up the street. I was walking down it and I went straight over and I hit him a punch on the mouth. I didn't walk up behind him. You know, I didn't walk from the side of him. I walked straight up in front of him and I hit him a punch. One single punch. Should not have done it. Doesn't matter if it was from behind, from the side, from the front. It doesn't matter where it was from. I shouldn't have done it. It should not have been. Should not have happened. It was one of the biggest mistakes I ever made in my life. You know, and you know I've carried it now for a very long time. You know, and you know, yes, there's a family there now without a son, and I completely understand that, and I know they're in a worse off position than I am. And I was. So I left the scene, drove up, went up the street. The brother lifted me. I'm not going to go to the whole rigmarole of me panicking and running around and stuff like that. And I got him to leave him up to an ex-girlfriend's house that time. And to be honest with you, I just knew something inside me. You know, I'm very, very good with vibes, and something inside me, I just knew it wasn't, things weren't, something was wrong. So I sat there and I just sat in her room and, you know, and she kept trying to calm me down, and you know, I just kept panicking, I kept ringing people, and then my phone rang and there's me, come up, dad on the phone, it was my father. So I picked up the phone and I said, well, and he says, where are you at, son? And, you know, Daddy, somebody would come sit on the phone and be shouting, what are you at? What are you messing about? But he just come on, he was very calm. I'll never forget it. And I said, you know, is he okay? It's the first words I said. And Daddy said to me, you know, he's not well, son. But he says, don't you be panicking. He says, you know, I'm coming to get you now. Where are you at? So I told him where I was at. And I just seen the blue lights, the police car coming into the housing estate, and I just walked over to the girl and just kissed her and hugged her, and I just says, look, sorry. And it was one of her friends had landed that time as well, and I hugged her as well, and I walked outside and I held my hands out, and the policeman, he broke down in tears. He says, son, I can't do this. He says, just get into the car. So got into the car, was taken to Dungannon Police Barracks, and I was arrested for murder. You know, people sees me flying around now and it's fancy jeeps and houses and, you know, holidays and stuff like that, you know, but behind all that there, behind that mask, there was someone really dying inside. You know, every morning I woke up, thought about it. Every night before I went to bed I thought about it. I woke up in the middle of the night panicking. You know, I was getting all these thoughts through my head about ghosts and about, you know, people coming to my house to attack me, and all this stuff was going through my head, you know, and it's just constantly, you know, and it just filtered throughout my life, you know. Relationships, I never could settle down. You know, and there's a lot of people that, you know, got affected by it, you know. My family, you know, the family of the deceased, you know, friends, we were all friends, a lot of us were all friends to each other. A lot of us don't speak anymore. You know, and I would go on out to when I went to court. I went to court, and, you know, there was a part in it about me showing no remorse. You know, I am very remorseful for what I done. No one understands. If you know me right, you know I am. But I did something that was pretty stupid at the time. I was young, I was 21, and I was in prison a wee while. I got out on bail, and then I was on house arrest for 2.5 years. I was seeing someone at the time, and I decided, you know, to put a request into the court if I could go on holidays, because I was meant, my case was to be here before the summer, but then it was put back, so the courts closed over the summer. So I went, the judge gave it, no problem, you know. He says, no, it's not a problem, you know. And I went on a week or two's holiday, just really quiet, nothing, nowhere crazy like that. And I come home, and the following week I was jailed. Now, the court states, you know, that I showed no remorse. That no remorse was, you know, it was to do with me going on a holiday, and it was stupid what I done. You know, thinking back now, I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have been. It was disrespectful. It was disrespectful. It wasn't hard to sit in the house, you know. But you know, I mean, the court, and you know, there's roars of joy, and there's roars of tears, and you know, there's roars of anger, and you know. But I just walked downstairs, and to be honest with you, I wanted my life to end. And I just said I just had enough. I couldn't take any more. And I made my father coming down, my whole family coming down. Something that never happens, but he came down the stairs, and I made my father trying to touch me through the glass, you know, him in tears and everybody else in tears. You know what? I look back now, you know, there was another family left the court that day. They come down, my family come down to visit me, you know, downstairs, but they had to go to a grave and visit someone. You know, so two families absolutely destroyed. You know, and I do take that into massive consideration. You know, I done my prison sentence. Wasn't easy in there. You know, I don't really want to go into a lot of things that went on, what happened, and you know, I didn't get it easy. And I came out, got no probation, just got the full sentence, come out, no probation, and I just was back out on the streets. And to be honest with you, I didn't know if it was coming or going. I did not know what age it was, you know, what I was going to work at, nothing, for at least, I can't even say a year. It went on for years. Every year was different. Every year something else happened. I met someone else. I broke someone else's heart. You know, so many good girls came into my life. You know, the one before it all happened, there's one during it, you know, and there was two after it. You know, and the very last one at the very end there, you know, did affect me. You know, the breakup affected me. You know, I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing. You know, my head was all over the place. And that breakup, I think, was the making of me. You know, it changed my, you know, it changed a lot of things. And the one thing that changed me was I had to start with myself. And for what I done, I had to forgive myself for what I done. You know, and I went into a prison today, and I spoke to young fellas, and not one of them batted an eyelid, not one of them looked left, right, none of them shrugged their shoulders. They listened to every word I had to say. And I told them no matter what crime they had committed, if they start now and forgive themselves for it, you know, bring so much positivity into their lives, think in their head, if they think positive thoughts, then things will happen. If they really want something. One lad I looked at, and when I come in, he was behind a cookery survey, and I says, like, I seen you in that cookery survey. You actually could be one of the best chefs ever that could open restaurants or anything when you get out of here. You know, another lad that kept looking at me, and he never took his eyes off me. I says, you're listening to every word I'm saying. I says, you could be sitting here in 2 years' time. I says, doing what I'm doing here now. And I says, I need a paid job. What I done the day was voluntary, but I says, you could be paid for it. You know, a lot of things, you know, just a lot of things now are starting to turn around. They're starting to come good. You know, yes, I've been trolling on social media. I do make a bit of noise on social media. I'm not out there to close anybody's business. You know, I'm not out there to put anybody down. You know, I'm out there to tell the truth. You know, the fitness industry, to me, I love it. It's a passion, it's a love it, it's changed my life. You know, and you can't come into this industry, you know, and just think, you know, I can do this, I can do that, and take people's money. You can't do that. You know, people need to be treated fairly. They need their health. Their health is their wealth. You know, and that's why I bark. It's not, and if people dislike me, they dislike me for two reasons. They've either done something on me, you know, and I've reacted, you know, as in not fighting or anything like that, but like they've done something on me, whether it be, you know, just you've done something on me, right? And you don't like the way that I've reacted back to you. I react back to you fairly, you know what I mean? But I'm a very fair person. I give everybody my all, whatever they. That's maybe one of my biggest problems. You know, I give people so many chances, you know, I open so many doors, you know. I've done all, like, people call me an ass, like, you know, I have met so many great people in the fitness industry. I've licked nobody's ass. You know, I have put myself out, I've went and seen them. People say I give them money. A lot of people, I give them nothing. They don't want anything off me. You know, this is all bollocks, you know. And the people that's listening in here, you know, that have a grievance with me, you know, call around here and see me. You know, I'm not going to start fighting me, I'm not going to start arguing with you. But Jesus Christ, lay off. You know, lay off. Those lads working for me there, they're all great lads. You know, they're all doing so well. And they don't need bullied, they don't need social medias made up about them and things they got there. But, you know, I don't want to be calling people out. I don't want to be exposing people. You know, I don't want to be doing that there, because to me that's just adding fuel to the fire. You know, I want everybody to get on. I just want to get on with everybody. These people have done things to me. They've done things to me, and I'm a very forgiving person. You know, I will. Some days say I'll never forgive him, but I will. You know what I mean? I will. And, you know, this is something I want to, you know, I've been asked to write books. Well, I couldn't write a book, but, you know, I'm not going to have people thinking, oh, is he going to write about me or say something to me? Yes, I've had one roller coaster of my life, and I'd say it would maybe make half decent reading. But at the end of the day, it's nothing I'm proud of. But, you know, I'm very proud today that I walked into that place today. You know, and these fellas come up to me. One of them actually hugged me. And you know, he could relate to what happened to me. You know, and he just asked me, you know, how long did it take for me to forgive myself? I'd be honest with you, you know, it took to the end of last year, the start of this year, before I actually forgive myself, you know. And I just want to say something here before I finish. You know, two families, you know, that were absolutely destroyed in this, you know. I'm still here. You know, if I take my own life, if I go back to jail, if I move out of this country, if I disappear, it's not going to change what happened. I do feel I'm a very spiritual person. I don't, as I said before, eat the altar rails often. I don't mean mass every week, but I do pray. And that's my tattoos and stuff like that all mean something to me, parts of my life. And I do believe that one day I will meet that person up there, and he'll hit me a kick in the hole, and he'll call me a bollocks, and me and him will walk the same direction. And we'll all come together, and we'll all live another. We'll all get a second chance. You know, but as I say, the only way that you can take pain away is by forgiving. You know, it's by forgiving. Your first thing is, oh, I'm so cross, I'm this, I'm that, I want to hate, I want this. When you do that there, you're starting to boil up within yourself. But as I say, I don't set out to cause any trouble. I don't set up. I just like to see people treated fairly. As I say, and I could have harped on a wee bit here too much, but that's the long and short of what happened. If I could change it, it'd be the first thing in my life I would change. You know, going back. And I just, as I say, I'm just truly apologetic for it. But that's that. I've spoken about it. I don't think there's anything more I wanted to speak about. These guys in the background are making plenty of noise. It's now time to end this episode and get into the next one. You know, I want to leave all this behind me. Always think about it, always pray about it. Have my own way with it. And I just don't want any more questions about it. You can make your own mind up on me. But as I say, I'm going to move on from this now, and I'm going to keep helping people. I want to keep giving my time. See, I'll be going back into the prison and doing training camps and stuff like that. And I am going to just move forward from this and try and, you know, just give back. But as I say, the next episode, we are starting to film from Thursday again. We're going UP camps on this weekend. I'm 4 weeks out from Wbff. I'm feeling great, as in my body is starting to look what I want it to look like. A bit of hard work at the minute, and I apologise to my clients and anybody that's around me. I'm kind of keeping myself to myself because I'm just, you know, it can get tiresome. You know, the food's down, and you know the energy levels are down. I'm feeling 2 or 3 times a day, things like that. So, you know, I apologise for my grumpiness, but as I say, as soon as I get this over me, hopefully it'll be all worth it. I'll have a get together there whenever I get back, and as I say, I'll get straight back into my personal training, get these gyms and all up and going, and just keep growing and just keeping our LS. So, folks, hope you enjoyed this series, and you know, it's just something I wanted to talk about, and that's the end of it. Alright, so thank you very much, and I will see you in the next series.